Why do we get all these feelings?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times when a movie used the fourth wall break to dramatic and heartbreaking effect. Spoilers ahead, so beware.
So what's the answer? That's what I keep asking myself. What's it all about? Know what I mean?
Number 10, It's Up to You, JFK. Oliver Stone's controversial, paranoid political thriller follows a New Orleans lawyer determined to uncover the truth behind the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In character as Jim Garrison, Kevin Costner delivers his closing remarks to a courtroom jury.
Authority forgets a dying king. This was never more true than for John F. Kennedy, whose murder was probably one of the most terrible moments in the history of our country.
Having presented his evidence to the court, just as the movie has to us, he challenges the jury and everyone in earshot to pursue justice, even if it comes at a great personal cost.
That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Do not forget your dying king.
The burden of standing up to the powerful is a shared burden. He ends this impassioned speech looking directly at the camera. It's a challenge to us too.
Nothing as long as you live will ever be more important. It's up to you.
Number 9, Top 5 Things I Miss About Laura, High Fidelity. Rob Gordon works at a Chicago record store and seems to have a top 5 list on every possible topic. Frequently throughout High Fidelity, Rob breaks the fourth wall, addressing us directly with his musings of love, relationships, and music.
Can you see your name on that list, Laura? Maybe you'd sneak into the top 10.
Being dumped by his girlfriend Laura changes him. Framed by the Chicago skyline, Rob recites his new list, Top 5 Things I Miss About Laura.
2, she's got character, or at least she had character before the Ian nightmare. She's loyal and honest, and she doesn't even take it out on people when she's having a bad day. That's character.
He can barely get it out without wincing at how vulnerable he's being. But for a guy who seems disconnected with nearly everything, hearing him finally be grateful and open about his life marks a big change in him.
And 5, she does this thing in bed when she can't get to sleep. She kind of half moans and then rubs her feet together an equal number of times. It just kills me.
Number 8, Choosing the Real World, The Purple Rose of Cairo. This in-universe example of a literal fourth wall break is also pretty heartbreaking. Cecilia is a working-class woman in a terrible marriage who finds her only refuge in the movies. When the main character of her favourite film literally climbs out of the screen to romance her, it's everything she could ever want.
You know, where I come from, people, they don't disappoint. They're consistent. They're always reliable.
You don't find that kind in real life.
You have.
Soon she's locked in a love triangle between a fictional character and his fictional world and the very real actor who plays him.
Last week I was unloved. Now 2 people love me, and it's the same 2 people.
For the first time, she decides to choose the real world instead of the fantasies of the movie theatre.
See, I'm a real person, and no matter how tempted I am, I have to choose the real world. I loved every minute with you, and I'll never forget our night on the town.
Number 7, Be Kind, Rewind. Funny Games. A family is taken hostage by 2 sadistic murderers in this Austrian psychological thriller. But if you think it sounds like your average home invasion tale, think again. Not only is it incredibly disturbing, it's also constantly playing with your expectations. The killers gleefully break the fourth wall several times, letting us know how much they're enjoying themselves. But the most devastating instance may be when the family finally gains the upper hand and takes their revenge on one of their captors. This doesn't last. One of the killers presses the rewind button on a remote, literally rewinding the movie to essentially revive his partner in crime. Whatever fate awaits our heroes, we realise there's no escaping it.
Ciao, Bella.
Number 6, What Now? The 400 Blows. François Truffaut's semi-autobiographical film follows Antoine Doinel, a young boy who turns to crime. The troubled youth bounces from misadventure to misadventure as his family, school, and the authorities seem unsure what to do with him. Antoine doesn't seem too sure what to do either. At the end, he escapes the reform school he's been shipped off to and ends up on the beach, which he's always wanted to see. But once he fulfills that goal, he looks into the camera, still unsure of what he wants, where to go, or what to do. He's free, but lost. Number 5, the ambiguous ending, Little Women. Greta Gerwig's take on Louisa May Alcott's beloved classic is both a retelling and a commentary. As Jo March presents the story of Little Women in a novel form to a publisher, she receives notes on its ending.
What isn't the right ending?
The right ending is the one that sells. Trust me, if you decide to end your delightful book with your heroine a spinster, no one will buy it.
This is played parallel to a scene that finds her family pushing her to realise she's in love with the departing Professor Bear. Telling it this way acknowledges that this is a story, and the audience has expectations on how the story should end.
I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay.
You do?
Yes.
But I would never leave if you wish me to stay.
No, I want you to stay.
I have nothing to give you, Joe.
It doesn't matter.
You get swept up in the stirring train station love scene between Jo and the Professor, but the whole time you're aware that this is all a story. It's a departure that even fans of the source material still argue over.
Mr. Dashwood, if I'm going to sell my heroine into marriage for money, I might as well get some of it.
6.6%.
Done.
Number 4, All This Unused Life, Shirley Valentine. This underrated romantic comedy first had a life on the West End before moving to a Tony-winning run on Broadway. Both times, actress Pauline Collins played the role of Shirley Valentine, a bored housewife who takes a chance on a Greek holiday.
I thought, why am I so terrified of being on my own? I'm an expert at it. And then I started to relax.
She also stars in the movie adaptation, which keeps the play's humorous and devastating asides to the audience. Halfway through the film, Shirley laments how she feels she's cheated herself out of the life that she wanted.
I've led such a little life. And even that'll be over pretty soon.
She delivers her regrets right to the camera, looking right at us as she realises she's lived a small life.
That's where Shirley Valentine disappeared. She got lost in all this unused life.
Number 3, The Speech, Barbie. After Barbie enters the real world, she faces a crisis of confidence. The pink utopia of femininity is crumbling around her, and she no longer feels useful or even beautiful.
What? You're so pretty.
I'm not stereotypical Barbie pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
Narrator Helen Mirren's funny fourth wall breaking comment is hilarious, but it sets the stage for America Ferrera's lauded monologue about the contradictions of womanhood.
And you can never say you want to be thin, you have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin.
Her character Gloria is not just speaking to Barbie here. Her frustration feels bigger than the story of the film. While it may not be a traditional break, the way the whole scene plays with the fourth wall means it's constantly towing the line.
It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
Number 2, Hitting the Wall, The Truman Show. Having figured out his entire life has been a lie manufactured for a television audience, Truman Burbank makes his great escape.
There, perfect. That's our hero shot.
Leaving his hometown for the first time, setting sail on a stormy sea, he literally crashes into the fourth wall. To his horror, Truman realizes that even the horizon, the ocean, and what he thought was the sky is fake. He tries to punch through the wall, hoping to emerge into real life. It's a painful and profoundly philosophical moment. It's also one of the moments that made audiences see Jim Carrey as a gifted dramatic actor.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Let Us All Unite, The Great Dictator. In 1940, America had yet to enter the Second World War, and the horrors of the Nazi regime were yet to be fully known. The Great Dictator sees a Jewish barber swapping places with a Hitler-inspired tyrant.
In the meantime, it might be advisable for you to dance with Madame Napoleone.
Huh?
Will carry weight.
You mean I will carry weight?
Silent master comedian Charles Chaplin set out to satirize fascism, but in the last minutes of the movie, the barber in disguise makes a plea for humanity to unite against tyranny.
Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
Gathering power and passion, Chaplin looks into the camera, breaking character to deliver a message that's bigger than the story of this movie. His impassioned words still have a haunting power 8 decades later.
Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
What's a fourth wall break that you will never forget? Sound off in the comments below.
Right after I got here, I ordered some spaghetti with marinara sauce, and I got egg noodles and ketchup. I'm an average nobody. Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.